Pretty good, Callie. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you, and thank you for coming today.
You're more than welcome.
Okay, so I know you're the director at Camp Heart to Heart.
Yes.
But before we talk about that, I just want to ask you just a few questions about HIV.
Sure.
Well, Camp Heart to Heart, first of all, is for children who are infected and affected by HIV, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple questions about that. Tell me a little bit about how HIV can affect one's body.
HIV is actually a virus, and it's actually not airborne or anything like that. It is usually transmitted through 4 different means. It's usually through blood, semen, vaginal, or breastfeeding. Okay, one of those type of fluids, is typically how it is transmitted. Okay, and once you have the virus, you have the virus for life, and you're either on medication, or there is a very minute population who has a special enzyme in their body that tends to fight it off a lot better than normal people. Yes, and they may not necessarily have to go on medication to keep their body from deteriorating, their immune system, but they still can transmit it.
Okay, now I know that I did a little bit of research online now. Does HIV always develop into AIDS, or can you live without getting AIDS?
It always develops into AIDS at some point in your life. And AIDS is actually when your body gets down, your immune system gets down to a certain point. Then you go from just being HIV positive to full-blown AIDS. And that's the different classification. But like myself, I'm HIV positive. I've been HIV positive for almost 25 years. I'm very lucky because I respond to the medication very well. So my CD4 count is over 1,000. My viral load is undetectable. So the medications work very well for me. Some people they do not work as well for. But at some point in your life, you're going to become full-blown AIDS, yes. But you don't actually die of AIDS. You die from complications from AIDS, because AIDS is the HIV virus is what deteriorates your immune system, which leaves you vulnerable to a wide variety of opportunistic infections, and that's typically what you die from.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I knew. Okay, so now if you could just please tell me a little bit about how Camp Heart to Heart was founded.
Camp Heart to Heart was founded in 1999. Beth Everins wanted to do something in memory of her father. He was a past Lyons district governor. And so she went to Lyons Camp Crescendo, which is in Lebanon Junction, to see if there was some way that we could do a camp and in memory of him. And they were very open to the idea because they already did a camp for children who are visually or hearing impaired or deaf, or visually impaired or hearing impaired, if you want to put it that way. And so they wanted to add another camp to their repertoire. And so we started the camp the very first year in 1999. We had 2 co-directors. We had 2 full-time counselors and 1 part-time counselor. I was one of the full-time counselors, and we had 14 children, and that was 11 boys and 3 girls.
So how many children do you have now? Like, how many children are you expecting this summer?
This summer
15 years later.
This summer we're expecting about 70 children.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing.
Yes, it is. And we accept children not only from Kentucky, even though most of our children do come from the Louisville area, but we do draw children from Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, and we've had a few children from Florida.
Oh, wow. What exactly are the eligibility requirements for the campers coming in?
the campers coming in, they have to have either the virus themselves, which many of them, depending on what their age is, may not know what their status is. They just know that they've got to take medicine, you know, and we don't try and educate the children on HIV because of the age range, which is 5 to 12. But most of them are just affected, which means they have either a parent, a grandparent, a sibling, an aunt or an uncle that they live with, just an immediate family member that is HIV positive. And that's all they have to qualify as young.
Okay. So about what percentage would you say is born with the virus versus the children coming in that are a family member has it?
In a group of about 70 children, we'll probably have anywhere from 7 to 10 that are actually HIV positive.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean that the others don't have medications they have to take, because we have, you know, asthma and ADHD and a wild host of other illnesses. But we have a nursing staff on duty 24 hours a day when camp's in session. So we have, Walgreens is very good to us. They come in and they help our nurses on the day that we're in processing the children to help get the medications in little pill boxes sorted out by dates and times. So Walgreens has been with us for about 3 years now. This is going on their 4th year that they've been helping our nursing staff get everything ready for them. And they actually have a pharmacist student that stays with our nursing staff the whole camp and helps them and learns while they're at camp.
Excellent, excellent. So what kind of activities do you guys have for the kids?
We have a wide variety of them because we have 185 acres at camp. And so we do things like, kickball, soccer, wiffle ball, archery, air rifles. We have canoes, paddle boats. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool that they go swimming in every day. We do arts and crafts, and it goes on and on. It's a challenge sometimes to find new and interesting things for the children to do, but they seem to have a very, very good time. And if we have the funding, sometimes we do get to take them on a field trip. We've taken them to the Louisville Zoo, we've taken them to Kentucky Down Under, the Onyx Cave, and just a lot of different places, that are educational. And this year we're thinking possibly we may have enough money to take on another field trip for part of one day.
Well, great. That actually leads me to my next question: is how is Camp Heart to Heart funded?
We receive most of our funding through the Louisville AIDS Walk. Yes, we do. And we receive a sizable grant from them. And then we also have grants that come in through Lions Club members and individuals that know about the camp that want to help support it. And in the past, we have had some other companies that have given us grants from time to time. And it's just, it's a challenge to keep the money coming in. But the largest portion of our funding comes from the Louisville AIDS Walk.
All right, great. Let me see. So you mentioned that the kids are going to need some sort of medicine.
Yes.
Now, but the other kids also may need medicine. So do the other children exactly know who is born with the virus versus who has it?
No, not even my counselors know. All they do, our nursing staff puts up a schedule of what children need to come at what time during the day, whether it be morning meds, noon meds, evening meds, or bedtime meds. And they know that child has to come to the nursing station or see the nurse after they eat one of their meals. But they don't know if the child is HIV positive. But we do give our counselors a safety kit, which is a little Ziploc bag that has gloves and things like for if they get a bee sting, they've got a little thing that's they put a little ointment on it and to help until the nurse can get there, help relieve the pain or something like that. But we have walkie-talkies that we can communicate with the nursing staff all throughout the day, and most everybody has cell phones too. So we have golf carts, a series of golf carts, and one of them is designated for our nursing staff. So if a child hurts themselves to where they're actually bleeding and there's blood and fluids showing and everything, we tell our nursing staff, don't touch the wound or anything like that. Just get the child comfortable, get them in a safe area, call for the nursing staff, and let them take care of it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, so why are programs and camps like these important for children who are either infected or affected by HIV?
Most of our children come from poverty level families. Their parents do not have the means or the financial assistance to send their children to any type of a summer camp or even something just to do in the summertime. So a lot of these kids, if their parents work, they may be latchkey kids or something like that. And this gives them the opportunity to be with their peers, because a lot of these children actually have to grow up a lot earlier than most kids. Because if their parents are affected, some of them act as caregivers. They may be cooking dinner, if they're old enough. They may be cleaning the house because their parents may not feel well all the time. They're usually responsible for, you know, a wide variety of things around the house that normally doesn't fall on most children. But they don't seem to have the normal peer sessions in the summertime with kids their own age. So this gives them just a time to be a child. You know, they're in a safe environment. The parents can sit back and relax, knowing that the children are going to have a good time. They're going to be well supervised, and you know, it's just a growing process for these children to where, even though we don't teach them about safe sex or HIV/AIDS, we do teach them things like how to be responsible. You know, get up in the morning, make your bed, take care of your clothes, put them in an area back in their suitcase or the chechadors that we provide for them at camp, or to separate their wet clothes and everything and put them to where they're not going to be in with their good clothes. And even the dormitories and restrooms, they sweep them, they clean them, you know. We have a schedule that they have to adhere to, you know, and to keep them interested in that, what we do is we have what we call the best cabin award, which we actually go around and inspect the cabins after, you know, during their breakfast. We see who's kept the cleanest one and who's the pig pen. And so during the next day, after, you know, when we announce it at breakfast that morning, beginning with lunch through the next breakfast, whoever had the cleanest room gets to get in the line first to eat. Pig pens, they have to go last. So it's a good incentive for them, you know, to do their chores and everything. And then we also have slips of paper that are achievement awards. And anytime a counselor throughout the day, it doesn't matter what it is, if they go up and above what is expected of a normal child's act, you know, helping someone else, you know, the counselor can write out these certificates and we award them during the lunch periods, you know. So it's teaching them responsibility is actually what it is, and teaching them friendship and how to help others at the same time.
Great, and you mentioned that a lot of the kids are in poverty, right, in some sort of sense, and this is a totally free camp for them, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And it's, what is it, four nights long?
It's 5 days. They come in on Monday, they leave in on Friday, and so it's 5 days, 4 nights. Yeah.
All right, so that pretty much concludes everything that I had to ask for. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
We're just always looking for volunteers that would like to come out, because our staff is fully volunteer. Nobody gets paid. I don't even get paid, and I've been the director since 2000. So it's, you know, we run on a tight budget.
Mm-hmm.
What we raise goes directly towards the children, buying them new equipment, you know, for their sports activities or buying their arts and crafts. We even go out, and if the child, we've had children come, you know, with their suitcase or something, and they only have maybe a day or two's worth of clothing in it. And how is that going to last them the whole week? So we actually go and we buy them clothing, or we have clothing there at the camp that we keep. If it's in good condition, we keep it from year to year. So we can have something for the children that may not have the appropriate clothing to last them through the whole camping period.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And hopefully we will get to see you.